brings us now to old business and our public hearing. Tonight we have a second reading on rezoning 12-01, consideration and action on application by the Family Tree Garden Center for modification of conditions of ordinance number 2009-12 and request for relief from various sections of the Snellville zoning ordinance and development regulations for 5.63 acre property zone business general district located at 1983 East Main Street in Snellville, Georgia, tax parcel 5059028. Mr. Davis, do you want to provide us with some background information?
Mayor and Council, case RZ 1201 is kind of an ongoing case. It started in 2009 when the Pike family reopened Family Tree Nursery. That was a Pike nursery for years and years, and when they sold out to another company, when they sold the Pike nursery name, they wanted to reopen that. But as you know, when you sell a business, nothing ever happens clean and easily. So by the time they had gotten clearance to reopen that location, the time limit had lapsed for allowing to be grandfathered into place. At that time, because they were starting up new, they requested some relief from our various development ordinances. It was granted with a 3-year time frame. One of the things in the granting of that was that if they made a request within 6 months of the date of the expiration of the grant, they could come back and ask for an extension or additional grants from the ordinances. They did come back in on time, and with various and sundry issues, we are finally getting to the hearing about this. We did go to Planning Commission at the last meeting, and the Planning Commission looked at this very closely, and with the agreement of the Pike family to do some additional work to their frontage, the Planning Commission agreed that they should be allowed to have the requested changes applied to their property. They did request, just run down the list, from permanent relief from codes and ordinances, Chapter 9 Buffer Landscape and Tree Ordinance, and in the Snellville zoning ordinance, sections regarding on-site sewage management systems, accessory use structures, corridor overlay district requirements, design standards for parking and loading, signs, property maintenance, and in development regulations, sanitary sewage disposal, stormwater detention, and stormwater best quality management practices. Planning Commission recommended that we allow this to happen because, quite frankly, if they tried to bring that property up to the current development standard, they would have to bulldoze it and start all over again. While they do have a very good business there, and members of the council and people from the city who've been by there, you can see they've done some really nice improvements to the site over the years. They did start in 2009 with that business, and it has not exactly been a knockout decade for business so far. So they're asking to continue on. We agreed, Planning Commission agreed, and they requested that the conditions be granted, or the request be granted, with 6 conditions. They're in your packet on the purple piece of paper. I'll read the conditions for you. Condition 1, sidewalk and pedestrian benches, which are part of the streetscape improvements of the corridor overlay district. They've agreed to install those before the end of the year. That'll go with the existing landscape improvements that they've done in front of the area, but it will not require them to be impacting either the entrance ways or the existing curbing along Highway 78. Number 2, the street lights and the pedestrian sidewalk lights that are part of our 78 corridor overlay district, they are requesting, and we have agreed that they should be left out until such time as the properties adjacent to them also come in for redevelopment. We did that because if you start putting a street light up on a lot without looking at the entire street frontage, something's going to end up in the wrong place sooner or later. And we'd rather do it in large sections than do it one lot at a time. Number 3, the business will be continued to operate as is until such time as they make improvements that would trigger a issuance of a major building permit. That essentially means they'd be doing something that was worth 100% of the assessed value of the property. And then my favorite condition for everyone, they're not going to be able to have adult entertainment at the nursery. New signs that they put up can be no higher than 15 feet and no larger than 225 square feet, which matches our sign ordinance. And item 6, the applicant shall be permitted to use the property for retail, garden center, and accessory use only. In the event the applicant or any subsequent owner or tenant chooses to discontinue the retail garden center use for any other use permitted under general business, BG, then they shall be required to meet all city regulations prior to obtaining an occupational tax certificate. That's the case. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to try and answer them.
Any questions for Mr. Davis? Thank you, sir. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Would you like to say anything? You don't have to, but it's your opportunity if you would like.
I didn't think about it.
If you'll state your name and address for the record.
Okay, my name's Dana Pike Van Vlake. I live at 4531 River Bottom Drive, Norcross, Georgia, 30092. Guess what I really want to say is I'm grateful, and blessed to be in the city of Snellville. The community and the customers and the employees and just everybody has just been just overwhelmingly just precious every time that they come in the store. I really couldn't thank the community and the neighbors that are around. I've gotten great letters from neighbors bordering the property. Just really couldn't ask for any finer place to do business, and I'm grateful for being here. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there any public comment either for or against this proposal? See none, I will close the public hearing portion of this, and I will entertain a motion from council.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion. A motion to approve RZ 12-01 with the 6 conditions recommended by both staff and the Planning Commission.
Second.
There is a motion by Councilwoman Kraus, a second by Councilman Emanuel. Is there any further discussion of council? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of approval with the 6 conditions set forth by Mr. Davis and the Planning Commission signify by raising your right hand. That is 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion is approved. Thank y'all and good luck to you. That then brings us to item number B under our public